Hey guys, about to start the stream now. Just give me 1 second. I'm actually making some coffee. I just need to finish that up. Okay, we are now good to go. I just got to post on Twitter, let everyone know that we are now live. It's been a really busy last few days. Hope you all had a good weekend. By the way, I have set up a hey Meta Real World. Yeah, I don't know why I bothered with that countdown. Yeah, Meta Real World, I got your email. I'll write you back soon. And Latravis, you're here. Gaming, thank you, David Kilmer. Game development, Manifold. Let me update that. Manifold Garden, game development, game dev stream, game development. All right, so that's been updated. Let me go on the Twitter. Just tell everyone now that we are live. Uh-oh, Jonathan Blow is Gammon, Rebel Galaxy. Maybe I'll just host him on the channel. Yeah, I've been very happy with the name change. By the way, there is a Tumblr now where I'm keeping all the wallpapers. There's also a link to the Imgur page with the full res. I don't know why Tumblr doesn't let you like just post a link. Tumblr doesn't let you post links to images without automatically embedding them and resizing, which is really annoying. Shaders are more interesting than gaming. I don't even know what Rebel Galaxy is. Let me get my water. Where did I put water? There it is. Yeah, Twitter's gift processing. Except this way, there's no way that it doesn't let you not, like, so I have to link it like this. But anyway, yep. And the new website, I'm very happy with it, is manifold.garden. I would put that in the bottom of the Twitch stream, but I think people get confused because it doesn't look like a... Yeah, I think people still aren't familiar with .garden, so we'll just do .com here. But anyway, there's the teaser trailer. Oh, cool, we're up to 5,500 views. Let me see if any replies. Okay, not yet. Right, well, what we'll do is we will start with our... Yeah. Which I'm not crazy about. we're just gonna keep manifoldgarden.com. Both are the same. So a few things. One thing I'm doing is I've been working on yeah, those fancy URLs only cause confusion. That's why it's more just like a bonus for me. By the way, hello Clifton. So I have been working on a video showing a time-lapse video. I'm just gonna give you a word of warning. There's a lot of flashing going on, but so far it's 10 minutes long. This is kind of what I've been doing the last few days. As it turns out, it sort of worked out really well. It's been really easy to do because I have so inside the game I have a script that automatically takes a screenshot when I hit the K button. And it generates it out in this format. Let me see if one. Well, so actually you can see it processes each image in this format with the year, date, year, month, date, and the hour, the minute, and the second. It does have it with Relativity Game Screenshot, but I've been using this software I downloaded called Bulk Rename Utility, which is, I think it's basically just like a bunch of regular expressions, but it allows you to like remove the first several characters, remove the last ones, remove the ones before S. So that's been really helpful. And the reason why I'm getting rid of, even though they all have like Relativity Screenshot at the beginning, the reason why I've been getting rid of that is so that I can actually see it inside Premiere. But anyway, I'll just give you a quick preview. So it actually starts from November 2012. I have it right now starting from July 2013. But anyway, it keeps going through all the different variations of the art stuff. So you can see like exactly, it was starting in April that I started the edge detection. You know, it wasn't until almost the end of it where it started to add I started to play with world wrapping, right? And it keeps going until sort of, you can kind of see starting to add gradients, kind of cleaner lines, and then, yeah, kind of up until, so right now I have it from July 2013 to April 2015. And I think tonight after the stream I'm gonna do a little bit more. Hey, Laszlo Corti. It is most obviously designed by a programmer thing, and that's why I find it so easy to use actually. But anyway, so you can see it's already like 10 minutes long, and this isn't intending to be like a catchy commercial. It's more just to show it is every single screenshot I've taken since development, which is it's close to 10,000. So what we are going to do now is we are going to pull the latest build of the game, which is mostly on the level editor. Don't save. Photoshop load as stack would do with that. Oh no, wait, this is not the level. Runtime level editor. There we go. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw it. Really cool piece of news today. Unite 15 keynote. Let me look for Unity's. Whoa! That's they tweeted it. No wonder it got a bunch of people emailed. That's kind of really cool. Yeah, anyway, you can see there is Manifold Garden is one of the made with Unity showcases. So I've got I'm up on the made with Unity showcase, which is cool. They just launched it today. And also, where is, right, here's the keynote. If you check out the beginning, and I will link to this eventually, but I think that happened just before Megasphere. Yeah. So, anyway, they did say William Chyr Studios, and they also forgot to mention that it's coming to PS4, but anyway, I'm super happy that I was part of the keynote intro. So let's... Alright, let us go to the... This is the latest runtime level editor, which David has been working on. And let's see what is new. So... Okay, we'll do maximize on play. So one of the things... So I'm going to be releasing a video soon. So where I'm going to... There's like a few I've been kind of... Haven't been... on top of the devlog, so a few posts. The name changed. That was kind of a big thing. So now with the new post, I'm gonna, with the new name changes done, I did the name change post tonight. Tomorrow I'm gonna post the evolution of the logo, which I worked on with Jamie Churchman of Mini Metro. There was kind of a lot of really interesting design decisions that went into that, and I'd like to just kind of highlight that. I'm also gonna talk a bit. Another post about the trailer, and yeah, that is the level editor UI rotated in space. It's kind of a really weird thing. It's like all 2D stuff is embedded in 3D. One of the other things I'm going to be doing is, so I'm going to be launching that time-lapse video. I think it's going to be about 60 minutes long in the end, but it's sort of a really, really cool, it's the last 3 years. It's 35 months condensed into 16 minutes, so it's kind of crazy. You can see all the weird experiments I ever did over the course of development. The other thing that will be working on too, I think there must have been some screenshots that got lost through whatever. I'm also going to be making a video about the level editor, just kind of showing that off. So, yep. So one of the things that we're very happy with is, so inside the game I can actually drag this thing around. We can switch into top level mode, which lets me move the entire thing. Right now, Control-Shift-D, that'll duplicate it. So, I can move this thing back and stack them on top of one another. Everything is aligned to a grid, as you can see. And now okay, so I'm actually going to move this over and let's just raise this top face a little bit. All right, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a gravity cube. So we do have some issues with the shader rendering. You can see there before the cube sort of disappeared, like its material sort of disappeared for a second. You can see right there. That's something we were still working on, but I mean a pretty simple fix is just to use a different shader at least during when you're using the level editor. But anyway, we'll place a cube there. In fact, oh, you know what's interesting is that, okay, the cube disappeared. So apparently, oh, you can, I guess you can, yeah, the depth buffer is a little weird, but I think that's you can have two cubes. Let's go to play. Oh, interesting, amazing. And this is really cool because if you drop a cube off, it comes back down from above, and you can see it's you can see all the other instances of it kind of in the distance. So that's really cool. Let's hit escape. What else can we do? So we can also have the water system. Now this one is a little bit confusing because I'm actually not sure which direction things are pointing in. But let's go ahead and say this is the direction. Then we'll go to play. And now you can see water has coming down from this place and is coming down from above, right? And using the cubes, we can rotate the cubes and redirect streams of water. So just like in the game, coming down from above, we can also walk on water when we rotate onto it. So that's, again, very cool. I've just landed on top of the water. So this is all happening in time. Like, I'm not even exiting runtime, right? I'm all still remaining in time. Let's, yeah, that we're gonna have to fix that issue with the cube shader. That's just the Z buffer kind of. It thinks that it's getting the depth values of the cubes confused because of the shader. But you know what? Let's go ahead and put a tree. What the heck? Let's go ahead and put a tree. Oh, you know what? It's because we are in. There we go. It's because we were in perspective mode, which I'm not used to. So, I usually work in orthographic mode. I think. It seems like face extrusion. Oh no, it's fine. It's a little. Do I think I'll show a preview of the stream during placement in the editor? I'm actually not sure what you mean by that. So let's move this tree and place it down here. Right, so that's where the tree is going to be. You know what, let's move it here. So that is where the tree is going to be. And we are going to go into play mode now. So here we have the water. There is our soil patch. So that was actually not, so that wasn't the full tree, right? That was our patch of soil. We will redirect the water now onto the stream. And let's go ahead and put the block Whoa. And very cool. So we've now built a tree with it. As you can see, this tree doesn't have any cubes growing on it. So let's add some notes for David. Lives waterfall in editor. Oh yeah. I am going to. Yeah, I'm going to show the stream. Like basically what I showed you. I'm going to make a video of that. Notes for David. Have cubes on the tree. Mesh render on. Okay, and let's have the edge detection perspective shader on. So if I'm correct, I believe. Yeah. Oh, if I can show a preview of the stream in the editor. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I think, you know what, Clifton, actually that is a really good idea and I'll look into it. Can I show a preview of waterfall stream? Yeah, both in, this would actually help me a lot in doing level design, both in Unity editor and runtime level editor. That is actually a really, really good point. Just put this on the desktop. So I just want to test that the edge detection is working. Okay, yeah, there we go. Right. So that is our this is our edge detection. So yeah, now everything is working. Let's go ahead and add a tree again. We'll switch back into orthographic projection, which I personally prefer to work in, just because I can then see like the size of everything. So we're also going to have a grid in the background, so that it's visually easier for you to line stuff up. Oh dear. So we also need the you can see right now in perspective mode, the axis, they don't change when you zoom in. They stay the same size. I need, apparently in orthographic mode, that isn't happening. Level editor, cube, shader, depth problem needs to be fixed. Hold on a second. Got some Swiss-style semi-sweet dark chocolate covered coffee beans. Direction gizmo in orthographic mode is too big, and well, actually, needs to not scale based on zoom. All right. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have 3 blocks here. Yeah, the geometry editing is problematic. Selecting faces doesn't always work. And also cannot drag it out consistently. Like, see, I'm clicking right now and this isn't... Like, what? You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't click on... It's like... Cannot click between... Click to faces between different objects. Anyway, let's... Yeah, like I can't drag this out, but it's very inconsistent in how it's responding. Like, I'm clicking right now and this face isn't being selected. Okay, so what we will do now is we'll place a tree. Oops, let's select the tree. Yeah, it's also like, it's zoomed out quite far. Alright, so there is the tree. And we will place the water. So normally the water has a direction. Oh, right, you know what? We don't have rotate in... Okay, so here's another problem where it's like the water is basically... I need to be able to, need to be able to focus on selected object. Because I have a feeling, I'm not exactly sure which direction the water points in, but I think it's gonna fall in the direction of the blue arrow. So let's take a quick look. Yep, that's what's happening. So what I want to do is I actually want to move this guy over and bring this back here. So like it's so slow in its movement. Like, yeah, I gotta drag around a few times. All right, so okay, now let's... I just save. I'm not sure if that actually works. Oh, fuck. Alright, so water is broken. Obviously. You know what, let's go with slightly larger wrap settings. I think it's hitting the boundary. I'm guessing that's what's happening. Yeah. So that was what was happening. So anyway, this is how water should look in the correct version. Oh right. So you see, there's a problem with the tree where if we're doing the edge detection, we can see it even though when it's not there. So the tree should be scaling instead of using the transparent movement shader. Causes problems with edge detection. Right, so yeah, so this shouldn't be, you shouldn't be able to see this, but I do think this looks really cool. In fact, I think having a level with just waterfalls is super neat. You know what, let's make that a little bit more intimate and go with slightly shorter view distance. We also need a way to preview it. Okay, that mesh isn't working, but whatever. All right, I am going to post this as a screenshot because I think it looks pretty freaking cool. The land of infinite water loops. Manifold garden. Yes, that's the best part, is that I can now use an actual hashtag. So after this, we're gonna, anyway, that's updates on the level design runtime level editor. We are going to now work on a few other things. Can I cross the streams? Yes, I don't have enough cubes right now, but yeah, you can. I'll show that another time. We're still sort of figuring out the exact depth issues, but yeah, you can cross the streams. It just goes over on top, so you can form a loop. All right, now what we are going to do is we are going to. Let's go to Game Field Redux. Actually, you know what? We are going to go into we should actually pick an actual level. We're going to pick an actual level and go there, and then we are going to start looking at the anti-aliasing shader. That comes with Unity. So let's switch out of orthographic mode. Let's make sure to have, let's make sure to draw the duplicates. I think I'm missing your joke there, David. Right, so well, this is so yeah, you can see in the distance we are having some of the right, with this staircase, we are still like up there. You can see there is some anti-aliasing. So, and there as well, right here, we can see that. So let's dive into. Let's start to look at what's this anti-aliasing thing, what's Unity doing, and try to get a sense of to see if we can understand what's going on. Meta Real World is making Ghostbusters. Oh, I see. Right. Ah, okay. Thanks for... I get it now. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it. Alright, so where is our... Okay, so on our main camera we have... So, a few things to be clear. One thing I want to look into, I'm using Legacy Deferred Light Prepass. Might be a good opportunity to kind of just like... What exactly is that, right? Maybe, you know what? I should probably switch to deferred. Okay, it does look different with deferred. I think it's the fog is not on. Interesting. What the heck? Deferred looks really weird. What is up? What's going on? I think my shader... What the heck? Right, so I'm not sure exactly. Actually, now would be a good time to sort of figure it out, because it looks like what's going on is that the lighting isn't being affected during normal deferred, but in legacy deferred, somehow we're actually getting this much. The colors are getting a lot lighter, so perhaps now would be a good time to just sort of read through this. All lights are evaluated per pixel. The thing is also we're not using... There's no limit on the number of lights. Deferred lighting has no real support for anti-aliasing and can't handle semi-transparent objects. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Have I always been on gaming talk shows? No, I've been on game development. In fact, I do think I was on game development. I did just notice it. I'm seeing some artifacts. Yeah, because I feel like what I should be doing is I should be switching to deferred shading. But what's weird is I'm not really using point lights. So this might not be a major issue. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just take a look at the anti-aliasing shader to see if I can resolve that. So this is the script I'm using. You can see we're currently using FXAA 3 console. So here you can see this is the anti-aliasing script. There's also a anti-aliasing editor. So that's the editor is controlling what shows up in the inspector. What the hell? Oh man, you know what? I updated to 5.2 and it does the auto Microsoft Visual Studio linking. Oh, interesting. So David Kilmer says the default deferred shading lighting model is in fact PBS. So if you don't need that, then you'd be paying the cost of having PBS without really needing it. You can, of course, write your own deferred shading lighting pass shader that does not do it. All right, so this is the anti-aliasing editor tool that just going over what shows up in the level in the editor and the inspector that has like the drop down menus and all that. So that's not really what we're paying attention to. This is what's controlling, this is sort of what's passing, letting you select, and then it passes the values into the shader itself. So yeah, okay, so this is kind of where we want to get interested. So that is its render texture, source render texture, this is the destination. So it has its edge threshold minimum, edge threshold, edge sharpness. It has these different modes. Okay, so that's for FXAA. I'm not sure about these. Actually, you know what? Before, so here's also, so right here you can see that these are the scripts, right? So this is FXAA. I think FXAA 3 console. So this is NVIDIA FXAA 3.1 by Timothy Lotz. All right, that's taken. Ported to Unity by Unity Technologies. All right, so they ported this from NVIDIA. So this is what we want to start. This is the anti-aliasing shader that I've been looking at, and what we're going to be doing starting today and over the course of the next probably several weeks. I imagine this will take quite some time. Is to understand exactly what is going on here and see if we can improve on it and to do temporal based anti-aliasing. So my NVIDIA contact totally fell off the map. I don't know what happened to him. But it looks like we might be on our own again with temporal anti-aliasing. So I think before we proceed, with diving into the shader. Let's go back, and what we're gonna do is during runtime start playing, start varying these different techniques and play with the variables just to see if who knows, we might get really lucky, and then it'll turn out that one of these actually solves the problem. So let me, so yeah, we are in legacy deferred. Okay, so this is a pretty good view, right? Because we're seeing those stairs in the distance, and we're getting those like kind of flickering lines. So let's go ahead and where's our anti-aliasing shader? All right. Okay, so you can see we can, if we bring up the threshold, then we don't have anti-aliasing applied. I don't know how good the quality of it is on the stream. I am streaming at 1080, but anyway, you can see we're still getting that flickering effect on those stairs. So this is pretty much no anti-aliasing. So let's lower this down and blur it. Yeah, so we're still getting that edge threshold. Let's raise the sharpness. It's not really helping. So this is FXA2. Apparently there aren't even variables to adjust. You just go into that mode. So that's not really helpful. FXA1 preset. Again, no variables to adjust. We are having same issues. And FAA. So we have what? Okay, interesting. Okay, that's not helping. Show normals. Oh, I guess this is using normals to. I'm guessing the N stands for normals. SSA. Saturation. Mode advanced. I think this is based on colors. And not really not helping either. Oh, whoops. That was stupid of me. I was actually changing the color correction. Again, SSA doesn't have values. TLA, don't know what that is either, but again, looking the same. Let's go hit sharp. Okay, sharp. Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't fix anything. So none of the default anti-aliasing stuff is gonna help us, as it turns out. By the way, let me try one more thing, which is to go into forward rendering. And this is gonna break our edge detection shader, but I think I'm still gonna be able to see some edges. It's just that the depth is inverted. Okay, I mean this looks really cool, but it's also I'm upside down for some reason. Huh. This does look really freaking cool though. Yeah, for some reason I'm like completely upside down. And what's cool is in the background you can see the larger... What the hell? In the background you can kind of see the different shapes flying by. Alright, well, forward rendering is clearly broken. So let's just go back to the legacy deferred, which is what we were doing before. And we are going to see here. So yeah, we're going to stick with FXA. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start looking at this shader. Alright, so we have the shader name, the properties, we have the main texture, we have the edge threshold minimum, edge threshold value, edge sharpness, subshader, z-test always call off 0. Okay. Right, so these are passing in the values. So we're getting position of texture when it's the vertex is okay. It's a vertex fragment shader. Right, we're getting the position. Okay, we have the extent, so we're getting the offsets. So this is our, I believe what the offset is how far away you are picking your sample. I think this is this sample distance? Okay, RCP size, I'm not too sure what this is yet. There's this very weird thing where there's some kind of weird bug, so I think they multiply it, they don't actually want it to be 0, so they just make it as small as possible. It looks like it. Oh yeah, because it looks like they don't want it to be 0. Hacky support for NaCl, okay. Okay, so that's the vertex shader. I guess, okay, this is the fragment shader, which has, it gets this color, and FXA pixel shader, which does is, it takes you into position, it gets the interpolator, and I think this is, okay, so this is, it calls this function, FXA pixel shader, and then it returns the color. Alright, so what is this FXA pixel shader doing? It gets the position, it gets float 4 extents, which was cleared up here. Okay, so the extents, that's a float 4, and it's getting its, okay, so extents XY is the offset in like the minus directions, and then XZW is the plus minus direction. So it Okay, so it's picking 2 points. Right, so they basically take 2 points and then pass it into one float 4. And that's what this is. Right, because this is the pixel we're looking at right now. This is, we take the position and we subtract the offset, which is 0.5, which I think is about 1 pixel. We can play with this, and it gets it in. Yeah, it goes in one negative direction, so I think it's going to the left, and then I like bottom left and then top right. Okay, so that's what this is. So extents we're getting. Okay, so I think we are getting so I think 0.5 is sample distance. We are getting 2 points to sample from. Putting in extents. Okay, so that's what that's doing, right? So we take the position, float to pose, right? So the position that's the pixel we're looking at. We get the 2 sample points, float for RCP size. Okay, so we are getting. Okay, so we're getting the sample size. This is, I believe, so this is minus. We're getting the negative. Okay, I think it's sort of doing the same thing as extents, but we're getting that. And then the RCP size 2. Okay, so interpolator A is extents, interpolator B is RCP size, interpolator C is RCP size. So why does it pass in RCP size twice? Looking at adjacent pixels. Okay, O dot. Oh, okay. So it's right. So what it's doing is interpolator C is, for some reason, multiplied by 4. Okay, so we have found a copy of line if anyone's playing along at home. Oh yeah, thanks, Meta Real World. So yeah. If any of you know what's going on, that's this would actually be really helpful, because I know that, you know, I'm just kind of thinking about this is how I would do it. Go about breaking this down and figuring out what's going on. Okay, so we have that some kind of, I'm not too sure what this like size thing is. Okay, so when we get the luminance, what we're doing is we're returning. We have this function that says text luminance, we get the position, and it's returning the RGB values. I think it's trying to do something here where it's just passing in. So. Yeah, I mean, one approach I have is I might do, I think it might be worth it to actually incorporate the anti-aliasing. I was talking to this guy, David Baser. He's a fellow developer here in Chicago, really smart guy that knows a lot about Unity. And he was saying it actually, in the end, I might be putting the anti-aliasing stuff inside the edge detection shader. And the reason is because if I put the anti-aliasing stuff inside the edge detection shader, I know exactly which ones are the edges and which ones aren't. which should make it really helpful. Okay, let's just we're getting like the RGB values or something. So that's what we're doing with the first sample point and then the second sample point, and then we're mixing them. Oh, interesting. So this is kind of cool because you can basically get 4 sample points by passing in a float 4 if you just mix and match. Yeah, the only thing about the edge detection shader is that it draws it like you don't know what the next one is going to be. You know, because I think it draws it all down like that, so you might miss it. As in, you'd be blurring, you know, if a pixel here, then these ones haven't been rendered, so we're like blurring without that info. I believe it's whatever it's get passed to it. I think it's just the main text. It's whatever. I think it's just whatever was rendered up until then is passed into it. All right, so it's basically, oh right, see that's interesting because they even say that's like northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast, right? That is yeah, I guess negative is to the top, so it's doing northwest, and then you're doing southwest. Right. Yeah. So you see, you're getting 4 points from a float 4, which is actually kind of clever. And then half 3 we get the center, which is the center point, and we get the RGB value there. And then we get the luminance of the center. So I have to say this is somewhat confusing to me because here it does like the half 3 center, and it's which is the FXA text top main text position dot RGB, right? Which is what this is doing. But then it calls luminance on center again, and luminance just gives you. Oh wait, no. So why doesn't it just do text luminance? So whatever. It's just. By the way, is luminance a function or something? Is this right? Okay, so lumicenter is basically just text luminance on position. Isn't lumicenter just text luminance on post? I mean, that seems kind of weird. They like declare this function and then don't use it. Oh, you know what? I think okay. You know what? I think what's going on here. You know. I think I know what's going on. I bet I know what's going on. I think luminance is a function that's giving you the brightness value based on the RGB. So we're just getting, all we're doing is we're getting the brightness of different values. RCP size and RCP size 2. Yeah, but I think they do it like could be in a c.include file. Yep. Yeah, I think you know what? I think it's here. All right, so we're getting the luminance. Actually, what I'm not sure. I think they do the mix and match thing just like Meta Real World talks about RCP size and RCP size 2s. I think they do the mix and match like with extents to get the 4 points. But anyway, we now know they're getting in them on like an X, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. We've got the 4 points. We've got the center one. We're getting their luminance value. Now, this is the Luma Max Northwest Southwest. So it's trying to see whether the Northwest one or the Southwest one is bigger, and then we pick one of them. And then we get the minimum, the smaller one of them. Okay, so first, I guess it's just trying to pick out which one is bigger. What's this? This is to make Luma Northeast a little bit bigger. Anyway, so it compares them to see which one is the bigger on the left. Which one is bigger or smaller on the left, and which one is bigger and smaller on the right. And then it takes whichever is the biggest one, and then whichever is the smallest one. Okay, so it figures out which one is the brightest and which one is the least brightest. Thanks. Thank you. This is really helpful. Okay, converts colors to luminance, grayscale. So this is, well, thanks David Kilmer. This is really helpful. So yeah, we got converts color to luminance, grayscale. So that's what's going on. All right, so we get the bright. We figure out which one is the brightest, and we figure out which one is the least brightest. Now that's Luma Max scaled, so it takes the highest one and it multiplies it by the edge threshold. Okay. Luma Min Center. It sees if now we compare the smallest one surrounding pixel to the one in the center. We see if it's alright, so we're trying to compare it to the minimum threshold. We see if see which one is, we compare the maximum to the center point. Okay, and then we get the difference between the largest and the smallest, which could include the center. And somehow we're trying to figure out the direction of where the light is going. Yeah, okay, so we didn't do too much meta real world. We were like, so you basically you figure out which one of the surrounding pixels is the larger, which one is the smallest, and then you kind of compare them to the center, and then use sort of threshold, I think, to weed it out. And then okay, so now you got to figure out this like direction of whether to go from northeast to southwest or southeast to northwest, whichever one's bigger. And if the maximum C minus minimum C is smaller than the Luma Max scale clamped, we return center. Okay. Have to direction. Okay, we normalize the direction. All right, so this is where I'm kind of getting lost, and I feel like we would probably need to actually start tweaking with stuff to really understand what's going on. But yeah, this direction, we normalize it and then call one fxa takes off. So we're returning okay, now we're using that RCP size ZW. Getting the color value from there. Dir is going to be a vector for the edge direction. Oh, I see. Okay, it's looking for the edge. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely where I've lost it a bit. Okay, Meta Real World says it's something about All right, so we've read the basics of it, and this is the point where I start doing this, which is where I start returning random things and seeing what happens. Okay, I'm not sure what okay, right now this has no anti-aliasing. The nice thing with these shaders is that you can update them at runtime. Okay, okay, I see. So somehow this one is doing FXA uses depth. Okay, so I think the B part is where it's doing all the blurring. Yeah, because when we return B, that seems to be slightly blurred, whereas when we just return A, Yeah, I don't remember seeing the. I don't see anything about depth inside this FXAA shader. I wonder if anyone has. By the way, did they mention? Did they mention? No, that's not the depth texture. Yeah, that's not the depth texture because they otherwise they would have it would have said something here. Yeah, they're not using depth. Yeah, they're not using depth here. Though maybe what we should be looking at specifically is so I've just turned it off for a second. And like it's this flickering back there that's oh, that is okay. Downsides are that textures may not appear as sharp if they are included in the edge detection, and it may be applied before rendering the HUD of the game, lest it affects them too. Wikipedia is wrong? Finding edges is typically a depth-aware search, so that pixels which are close in depth are not affected. Huh. Okay, so super sampling is the one where it takes it it takes a very high image and then compresses it. Why did I choose FXA? Because that was one of the because I can't do MSAA, which is in the Unity settings. Like in inside project settings quality, you can see you can set up multi-sampling, but it doesn't make a difference because I'm in deferred. And FXA, Unity had a post-processing shader, and it does the FXA 3 was the only one that was the one that looked best. So that's how I chose it. It was just one of the options. No, I think Moobot just does it like every 15 minutes or every 20 lines of chat or something. You know what? I think one thing that might be interesting too is looking at the motion blur shader to see if we can use that to determine, because I believe the motion blur shader maintains let's try this motion blur. Because I think motion blur keeps several frames together. So, and I think that is what oh, you know what? I have a script that's changing it. Hold on a second. pretty sure I have a script that turns on motion blur when you're falling. Let's disable that for now. What the fuck? Okay. We're going to, why is it capping it? Sorry if this is making anyone sick, but we're trying to figure out exactly how that's being drawn. And by the way, I'm going to end the stream now because we do which one were we looking at? Motion blur. Okay, this one. trying to figure out where they do. Where are the multiple passes? What's going on here? Anyway, stuff Matt does. I'm actually just about to end the stream. By the way, if you're new and you enjoyed the stream, you should definitely follow the channel. I'm gonna be off to TwitchCon starting on Thursday, so there's no stream on Thursday, Friday of this week. We'll get back to it on Monday, but I don't think it takes it as input. No, I don't. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream here. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow will be in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll continue where we left off. But yeah, now I have an idea of where anti-aliasing is going on, what's happening with it. And I'm going to continue reading up on stuff. And if any of you have other ideas as well, just let me know. I will see you guys around. Thanks all.